Wanwadi ka Yesu, wanwadi cha mungima, wanwadi.
Okay, so our business Peros is a coffee, or a wholesale coffee-led business, but we specialise in working with fair trade brands and partners. So we work in the coffee category, the cocoa category, the tea, cocoa as in chocolate bars, juices. So we have a lot of integration with many different cooperatives under those categories. Our customer base is very diverse. So we work, our largest customer is Compass, so we work very closely with those guys, and lots of other catering organisations that provide similar services. So I think we founded the business 14 years ago. We, as individuals, we both worked for various caterers, and probably in the UK in 2000, our government were very keen to ensure that their businesses were using as many fair trade products as possible. So when we started the business, there were probably in total fair trade certified products, there were probably about £20 million sales a year. Now in the UK, the consumer spends over £1.2 billion on products that have the fair trade mark. Coffee, without a doubt, is the largest part of that. Probably about 55%, followed by cotton, because a lot of our big retailers are now heavily entrenched in the fair trade cotton market. So the partnership with Compass was basically trying to find ways. Compass have always been very supportive of fair trade, but it was trying to find ways to find new initiatives that allowed them to be early adopters. So a cooperative like Semliki that are working towards fair trade status is a perfect fit to get in their early doors and then really try and assist wherever we can in ensuring that you guys can deliver on your fair trade status, but also working closely with Twin to make sure that you've got the tools in place to be able to deliver the quality that we've basically talked about all day and all of this trip. Yeah. So, as we were saying earlier, the markets are huge, the opportunities are huge. It is really just about delivering that quality product. Outside of those products, as a business, we're, I suppose, focused on being as sustainable and as ethical as possible. So I don't know whether you've come across carbon neutral. So we ensure that our business is completely carbon neutral. So looking after the environment. We work with projects, so we do sort of replacement kerosene lamps in Kenya with some of the guys that work with our teas. We also do some stove pieces. Yeah, it's actually in Uganda, isn't it? Yeah, it's actually in Uganda as well. And everything that comes within our business and goes on sale has an ethical story, and we know the producers that are involved and contains as much fair trade product as possible. So that's us. We've got some stuff.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah.
Have you got any questions for James before we talk about
office in Alsham?
Alsham, yes. Bizarrely,
I live in Hull.
there you go. So
Come and see.
yeah, come and see.
Your neighbors.
My neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we have already moved our first steps on fair trade. We are working with Pastor Kezia in Ndege, who works with the tree. She's already pursued some stages of knowing what we're supposed to do. Her first visit when she visited us. So to you guys, you will just need to have the paper because you're working as fair trade people.
Yeah.
We are expecting her this month.
Mm-hmm.
That has already communicated to her. And she hasn't actually communicated back, but we think she will come because her coming is already in the budget of Twin. So I think she will come. And when she came, she went as far as Bulbulu. She showed some of the Bulbulu groups here. And she thought next coming, then we should work towards having the papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're just working with, those are the same principles we are following in fair trade.
Excellent.
But fair trade, we think fair trade alone may not be enough, because we feel like why shouldn't we also be certified as organic producers? Because actually our coffee producers, it's organic coffee.
Yeah.
What we don't have is the papers we don't have.
Yeah, well, there's definitely an opportunity there in, I would say in Scandinavia are still very demanding of organic, and some of sort of mainland Europe, the French and German markets still, they call it bio, but it has an organic status. In the UK, organic in coffee is nowhere near as big as it was pre 5 or 6 years ago. I think really the recession
Price.
in price, but there is a percent, and I think unfortunately a lot of our farmers probably stole an organic margin and overpriced themselves, and as the recession hit, people took that off their off their shopping list. So probably organic sales, I would imagine that outside of things like baby food, which are always organic, are probably down by 60% over the last 5 years. But definitely within our business, the only organic products that we have left are duly certified. So if it is organic and fair trade, great. But I would question whether the UK consumer in coffee would seek out an organic coffee. They'd seek out a great tasting coffee, and if it happened to be fair trade as well, there would be 2 big ticks in there as well, you know. So there's, but definitely, we've got some research that we can share with you on that, I'm sure. But mainland Europe still, the bio element of Holland and Germany and France and the Scandinavians are still quite embedded with organic. But my belief is in the UK that it's had its day, whether it would. But yeah, the UK consumer, quality first, fair trade second. But the fair trade element, without a doubt, gives it a nice, what we call a commercial halo. It just sits there nicely, and people know that they're doing the right thing by buying that. But once they also need to taste it, and that's the element that they come back for a second bag or a second cup.
So fair trade would be, certification would be enough to start with for HIV.
Yeah, in the UK, if your market is purely the UK, that would be my belief.